Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Me Driving to Work. I am your host slash chauffeur, uh, Darkness 30XX of the Black Hood Crew, named there in the corner, BHC underscore Darkness 30XX. You can go ahead and follow along on this drive as well as in chat. The Black Hood Crew on YouTube and Facebook, as well as BHC underscore Darkness 30XX, name in the corner, that name on Twitch, Twitter, Steam, and you can go ahead and follow me on TikTok. I post dumb stuff there every once in a while. So let's go ahead and get this ride going um, with a little story from last night. So a patient came in, again, as always, for HIPAA privacy reasons. No names, date of birth, or any kind of other identifying characteristics other than the fact that this person has a pre-existing condition that is only aggravated when they imbibe alcohol. Guess why he was in the hospital last night? Yeah, that's pretty much right. He felt like he needed a drink, knowing full well what the aftermath would be. And sure enough, he's screaming up and down that he's dying. He needs to see a doctor, nurses, whoever. Anyway, so out of everybody that was there working in my department, it fell to me to go ahead and register this person. So I did. We got his information as best we could because he almost refused to give any of it. I was able to find him, register him. Ooh, husky. Doggy. Sorry, dog in front. He gave what little information we could get out of him, which was basically his name, his date of birth. He refused to give anything else. And then I proceeded to print the wristband and label sheet for him, and then went outside to go ahead and put this on his wrist. Now, whenever I go outside to put the band on the patient, I always start with Mr. So-and-so or Miss So-and-so. When they look up or say here, I go over and say, hi, my name is so-and-so. I'm in registration. I'm here to put the wristband on. Can you do me a favor? Fine for me if your name and date of birth printed here are correct. Now, this makes sure that who I'm banding is who I'm supposed to be banding. This prevents misbandings because I don't ask them, hey, what is your name and date of birth? Or that I make them tell me that the information on there is correct. So, in the event that they can't, whether it's, due to their condition or a pre-existing condition, like if they're blind or something like that, that's a different story. In that case, usually they're with a family member or something like that, and through them verify. But anyway, this particular case was just the one guy with two working eyes and two working ears. So I couldn't even get out. May I have your wrist? When he said, look, man, I need to see a doctor. I don't want to talk. I just want to see a doctor. So, me being who I am and how overtly rude this gentleman just was, I basically told him, unless I put this on your wrist, they will not talk to you. They will not see you. He shut his mouth. I put the wristband on, let him know they'll be right with him, and went back inside. Unless you, I mean, really, there's no excuse. I don't care what's going on with you, because I've had people who are in the middle of heart attacks, strokes, choking, even actively bleeding, even gunshot victims who have never been that rude to me. It's almost always someone who is otherwise perfectly fine, and it's usually something they did to themselves that they want to get rude. I am a very nice person. I'm very calm, and I'm very understanding when it comes to people and their issues, especially when stuff is obvious. Say this other gentleman, same day, who, for lack of a better way of explaining it, basically was mauled by a dog. At least his hand was, yeah, he basically got roughed up by a dog. That guy was not rude at all. If anything, he was just as calm as I was. He didn't scream. He didn't try to rush us. Even when I told him that because he didn't have insurance, he had to pay $400 out of pocket for the visit, he did not come at me sideways at all. This man was very clear, very professional, did not give me any issues. Yet, and I actually saw his hand unbandaged. He had, I wouldn't say every right, but if he felt a particular way, any type of anger, anything like that, I would understand. He did not. He, this gentleman, the second gentleman with the dog, with the animal attack, the dog bite, was perfectly fine, calm, collected, came in, registered, and did the initial registration and the follow-up registration, and his entire interaction was absolutely perfect. Could not have asked for a more understanding, calm, collected patient than this gentleman. The other guy, the first guy with his pre-existing condition and only decides to aggravate it when he drinks alcohol, yeah, I wanted to punch that guy right in the face. And he would have deserved it. But no, one of us has to be professional and not knock people out. So I was the bigger person. I don't care what's going on with you. Nothing gives you the right to treat someone else like crap, especially somebody trying to help you. Like, I'm not there to hold people's hands. I'm there to do a job. If I cannot do my job, other people cannot do their job. It comes down as this. When a patient presents to the ER, registration needs to be the one to band the patient to confirm name and date of birth and make sure we have who they say they have. Until that is done, the nurses and the doctors cannot do their job. Only in extreme circumstances. And by extreme, I'm talking about code heart, which is basically an active heart attack. Code blue, which is basically respiratory distress. or somebody who is a gunshot victim or someone who, you know, been torn in half or missing an arm or whatever. But it's got to be that extreme for that step to be skipped. And even then, it's not skipped because in order to track what medications are given, what tests were done, and everything along those lines, they need a record to work with. So I still have to do my job and make sure that patient is who it's supposed to be, band them accordingly, and make sure everything is accurate. The initial step may be delayed, but it's not skipped. Should rephrase that. It is not skipped, only delayed when it comes to the care of the patients. Every patient needs to be registered every time. At no point in time does your condition, unless it is something extreme, would cause a delay in that initial registration. Because again, it's not being skipped, it's only being delayed. And even then, in those extreme cases, the patient is not the one giving the information. When there is a code heart, in very rare cases, is the patient actually giving me any information. Usually it is a family member or the EMTs when they bring the patient via rescue. Same thing when it comes to code blues, which is the respiratory distress. Unless it is an extreme situation and rare situation, more, not extreme, rare, that the patient gives me the information. Usually it is a family member or the EMTs that are giving me the patient's information in order to perform that initial registration. Gunshot victims, people who have appendages missing. Again, extreme situations and very rare for the actual patient to be the one giving me the information. Usually it's a family member or a or the EMT if they're brought in via rescue. Now, I happen to know that at my hospital, the likelihood of a person that is a gunshot victim or is missing appendages, major appendages, will not be brought to my facility. I know that already off the top of my head. Really, only code hearts are brought in directly to our facility, and they go by to the closest facility. So you can kick and scream. Your family can kick and scream all day long. Only take them here or only take them there. If they're in the middle of a heart attack, the EMTs will ignore your preferred facility and go to whatever facility is closest and will make the appropriate call to that facility's emergency department and give them the heads up. Hey, we are bringing in a code heart. We will be there in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, what have you. EMTs usually call ahead whenever they bring us a patient, but specifically when it comes to cold hearts, it is mandatory that they call ahead. Reason being, that ED department staff needs to be prepared for that patient's arrival. Equipment, medications, staff preparedness for that particular patient to be arrived and received. I've seen it go down many times. The call comes in, they immediately drop everything they're doing and make calls to other departments, respiratory department, pharmacy, and it's to basically give them the heads up. We have this patient coming, get your best stuff, your best people, best medications that are going to be applicable, all of your ready equipment, get it ready, bring it down or up or wherever. Get it ready. At the same time, the ED department, and I would say about 90% of the staff is basically whatever patient they're working with, unless it is also an actual life-threatening condition, they're basically going to be, sorry, but excuse me, I need to go handle this. I need to go to this, handle this patient that's coming in. And they would basically drop everything they're doing, put the patient as best as they can that they were working with beforehand in a state of stability. And then they'll get their equipment, get everything they need, prep and ready for the arrival of the Code Heart. Sometimes this is done while running. Sometimes the Code Heart is like, yo, I'll be there in 5 minutes, or I'm 2 minutes away. Because that's happened before. We've had them literally right next door. And like, we're bringing you a patient, we're right next door, hurry the hell up, get your shit ready. And I've seen them do it, running back and forth. Hey, did you grab this? Hey, did you grab that? Okay, we need this here, 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 here. And of course, they let us know, hey, by the way, we have a Code Heart coming in. Be ready. And we always are. But that also means we got to drop whatever we're doing. Whatever other patients need to be registered, immediately put on hold. Sorry, got to go handle this particular patient. Because that's how it is. The patient needs to come first. And when it comes to the patients, some take priority over others. That's just how it is. So I would say that, yeah, if you have any inclination of wanting to come to an emergency room for something you know is not a life-threatening emergency, don't do it. Don't flip and do it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. The time spent. That bus just ran a red light. It was a school bus too. Flipping people. Don't do it. Just don't do it. And don't catch an attitude. Oh, I have to wait a long time. And at a certain point, once we become full, it then becomes a priority situation. Whose condition is worse than the other? And I'm not the one that makes that determination. Because frankly, I don't care. It's entirely up to the medical staff. They are the ones that will say, hey, this one gets priority over that one. This person needs to be brought in first over that one. This one's condition is worse than that. And I've seen it done many times before. So this isn't like a new thing for us. Do not cop an attitude. Because one, that's going to make us in registration want to move slower. Two, is going to make the nurses care less. And forget it. Some doctors will curse at you back. I know because I've seen it. Don't get short with us. We understand you're here. You don't want to be here. But don't give us crap and you won't get any back. Simple as that. On that note, also make sure you treat everybody that works in the service industry, whether it's in retail, restaurant, hotel, what have you. They have jobs, they have lives. They are not there to be yelled at and cursed at by somebody who is just getting mildly inconvenienced. What do you mean I have to wait an extra 30 minutes for my room to be ready? What do you mean you only have one person making the drinks? Where's my margarita? What do you mean I have to wait an hour when there's clearly, 45 people here waiting to see the doctor? Don't be rude. Be considerate and understanding. It'll go better for you in the long run. Treat people nicely. There's a perfectly good series of TikToks by one particular user. I forgot this guy's name, where he shows the difference between somebody who is rich and somebody who is really rich, like scary wealthy, and how they treat others. The rich guys, or at least the ones that are trying to act rich, always want to badmouth and treat others around them, specifically those in the service industry, in some way, shape, or capacity, poorly. And what ends up happening is this guy ends up being given a very rude awakening when the thing he wants to be done or the thing he needs done is not getting done, or at least it's not a priority for those who are the ones in charge of handling it. The very wealthy person, however, always treats everyone with respect, even knows a lot of them by name, is understanding of things that are outside the employee's control, and thus, works with them to come to a solution. And in every case, even if the desired outcome is not reached, or it is not reached in a more timely manner, this the employee is willing to work a little bit harder, go that extra mile, simply because they're being treated well, being treated equally. You want a waitress to do a better job? Don't treat them like a waitress. Treat them like another human being trying to do their job, trying to get through the day. Do you want to be seen a little bit quicker in an ER? Don't give us crap. I'm a person just like you, trying to do a job, trying to get through my day. The last thing I need is for somebody to be yelling at me. Do you want someone to go above and beyond? Give them reason to. Treat them kindly, like another human being. Everywhere I go, restaurant, hotels, retail. I have never, ever mistreated another person who is just trying to do their job. Not once. And every single time I treat these other folks like another human being, they, again, they are more inclined to take the service to the next level, to work a little bit harder. Because all that does is make me that much more appreciative of their efforts. I know it is frustrating when you are inconvenienced, even mildly, but that still doesn't give you the right to mistreat others. Don't do that. Be kind. That's what we need more of in the world. Kindness, compassion, understanding. That's what we need. So, I am here, parked at work. We're about to head inside. So we'll go ahead and cut off today's stream. FYI, for people who only tune in Mondays and Tuesdays, this will be the last week that I will be streaming to my personal Facebook page. So if you're watching this on my personal Facebook page, go over to my Black Hood Crew page and follow me there. I will stop posting here on my personal Facebook page if you're seeing it here. Everywhere else will stay exactly the same. I will be making the same announcement on tomorrow night's stream, and I will be making a Facebook post on my personal Facebook page tomorrow, probably around midday, maybe in the morning. I'm not sure yet, but look out for that post and follow along on the Black Hood Crew. All future posts starting next week will be exclusively there, no longer on my personal Facebook page. So until then, have a great day. Follow along on the name there, all the socials, and have a great day. And remember to be excellent to each other. Take it easy.